a tactical snatch, then get into a lunge as I bring the kettlebell down, do a shoulder press while in lunge position, and do a windmill. I don't know why this is called a windmill, but it is. It's the weekend. The weather is pretty chilly. It's like 48 Fahrenheit, which is around 8 or 9 Celsius. But it's kind of sunny, which makes things feel a little warmer. For now, I'm going to be in the playground or in my backyard, and then I think I'm going to go to the playground later, but let's see what happens. I'm going to do some kettlebell juggling to start off the workout, just because I haven't done it in a while, and I don't know, I like doing it. There's a bunch of new people who subscribed. For them, kettlebell juggling is this fringe sport that started in Russia. It's where people do different kinds of tricks with a kettlebell and get points based on it. I do a version of it called Freestyle juggling, and to me it's just fun to do. I don't compete or anything like that. So yeah, I guess that's an intro. Let me do some juggling. So yeah, there's quite a few of you who already know what juggling is, but that's essentially what juggling is. You try to flow with the weight, do these different kinds of tricks. So if you guys probably noticed, sometimes I flipped it twice like that. That's called a double reverse. Then I did it with going this way. That's called a helicopter. And there's different kinds of flips. When I go between my legs, it's called a figure eight. Anyway, it's just something that I enjoy doing, and yeah, it burns a ton of calories because it's essentially weight training, or you're using a weight but using your whole body, which gets your heart rate really high. And there's also this element of like focus that's there to it. So if someone juggles balls, or even with basketball, if you do like freestyle dribbling and stuff, there's an element of like focus and knowing where an object is, and I think all of those systems get trained. To me, this is not something I necessarily recommend, but if people find it interesting, they should look into it. Yeah, and the reason I'm explaining myself so much is because it feels like kettlebell juggling is kind of polarizing. Either people think it looks cool or think it's injury waiting to happen. I think if you're strong enough to handle that sort of impact and weird body motion, then you won't get injured. But you definitely have to build that strength up before you try to juggle it. So definitely start off with regular kettlebell exercises like the clean, press, snatch, side to side swings and stuff like that. And if you're good at that, then you can probably juggle a little. When it's cold, it's not necessarily optimal to juggle because every time you miss it, it kind of hits your fingers, and the pain is just magnified when it's cold. And so that's the thing, like, is it an injury-free sport? It's not. Unlike like pretty much every sport in existence, there is a risk of injury. In this case, it's especially with the fingers for me. Like, if you miss a catch, then or have your fingers placed weird, there's definitely a good chance of like jamming it and making it feel really bad for a good amount of time. I don't know if the cat's visible, but I don't want to juggle with the cat nearby because they will get uncomfortably close like this, and then if I throw it weird, it might hit it and hurt him. Get out of here. That was going good. And so because you're having fun, you don't necessarily realize the kind of output you're putting into this, and yeah, it burns a ton of calories really quick. So my heart rate is 160, 165, but you know, it didn't feel, I don't know, that bad. It's like playing, I don't know if you play basketball or any sport, you just end up, like with me personally, I used to play basketball and I would like to just shoot around, and when you're shooting you don't realize how time's going by because you enjoy it so much. Not bad. I'm gonna work on 1 or 2 more sequences and then get to the main workout. Alright, that was a good note to end it on. On to the main workout. So for the first set of movements for the main workout, I'm going to do inside and outside rotations with the Clubbell and the Kettlebell. So with the club, it looks like this. Outside rotation, inside rotation. I'm going to do that 5 times. And then switching sides. I think that was 5. I could be wrong though. In any case, with the kettlebell, I'm going to do inside and outside rotations. So with the kettlebell, it looks like this. I'm going to get it into clean position, turn inside, push, get into clean, push, get into clean. I'm going to do it 5 times. Switching sides. So yeah, this is what I'm doing for now. So what I'm training here, I mean, the whole body is involved. There's not any set muscle group, but the benefit of this kind of movement is, from my understanding, there's something called throwing patterns, which is outside. So the outside throwing pattern would be like away from your body, and inside would be throwing towards your body, and that can be done with either arm. Most people are good at one of those, so they have a dominant side and play a sport that requires a lot of one of it. So like, let's say you're a left-handed pitcher in baseball, or a left-handed bowler in cricket, or a left-handed, I think shooting would be an outside rotation. So let's finish to get to that later. So in both the aforementioned cases, you're throwing or bowling inside, and that'll be the one throwing pattern that you're specialized at, versus all those the other 3 patterns that I told before exist, and that tends to create imbalances which show up as pain in the body, or imbalances as time progresses. So when weight training, it's good to have these kinds of components to help even out those imbalances. In any case, this is what I'm doing for now. To start off, probably do something a little bit more intense once the juices get flowing. So for the next set of things, doing a drop set of pullovers. So I'm going to start off with my 45 count club and then go all the way to the 25. I'm going to do 4 pullovers with the 45, 8 with the 35, and then go for 16 with the 25. Did one set of it so far and it's pretty brutal, mostly on the forearms, but yeah. So left hand overhand. Microphone. Let me have it here. Now 35. Yeah, and at this point the forearms start getting really exhausted. And now to the 25. With the 25, I'm going to do it single arm. Oh. So yeah, this was my second set. I'm going to do one more of it and then on to something else. Earlier in the video I had said I might go to the playground. I don't know, I still might, but you know how complacency kind of sets in? Complacency is kind of setting in and I'm like, I'll just stay in the backyard. In any case, doesn't matter. For the next set of movements, doing it's kind of a complex molding of a lot of different movements together. So I'm going to do a tactical snatch, then get into a lunge as I bring the kettlebell down, do a shoulder press while in lunge position, and do a windmill. I don't know why this is called a windmill, but it is. In that case, it would be a half kneeling windmill. Pretty much every muscle in the body is involved in this movement, and helps a lot with like core stability and balance and things of that nature. I'm going to do it 5 times on each side. With the windmill, first I try to touch the floor with my palm, and then slowly lower it till the elbow, then come back up to palm, look forward and get up. Then I'm going to do 10 steel mace 360s with my 30-pound steel mace. Switching over hands. So yeah, doing this for 4 sets, and then on to the next thing. So for the next set of movements, going to use the 25-pound club to start. So going to do 10 shield casts on each side. Switching sides. Oh. So like, even though I've done the steel mace quite a bit, I'm still learning stuff about how to do the shield casts with the steel clubs. Like, the movement looks very similar, but the way it feels on the body is like different. And I don't know, that was just something that clicked for me today in the way I did it. I don't know, which made it feel better than I usually do it. If that makes sense, I don't know. Have you ever had this thing where you've done something constantly for a really long time, but then all of a sudden, months later, just some kind of cue or whatever happens, and then the movement feels like it's supposed to? And that's essentially what happened to me with the steel club today. In any case, doing 10 360s with my 15-pound mace, single-handed. Switching sides. So the main cue that clicked for me today was, if you notice the trajectory that the mace takes when doing a 360, the head of the mace goes wider and I'm like kind of pulling it across. And with the club, I think it's more of like, you still have to let it go like a circle behind you, but but it's more of a straight ahead kind of pull, if that makes sense. Then with my 25-pound mace, going to do alternating 10 to 2s, single-handed. Ooh. So yeah, I'm going to do this for 4 sets. Probably head to the playground after, but let's see. So at the playground now, this next movement is definitely on the stranger side of things, but it was something that I was thinking about at home. So it's an upside down pull down. I brought my 25-pound club with me, and it looks like this. So getting into an upside down position, grabbing the club going to do single arm pull downs essentially. For 10 on each side. So it feels no different than a regular pull down, but it's just something that I had in my head that I needed to try out. In any case, going to do like 4 sets of this, maybe 3, and then on to something else. So for the final set of movements to end today's workout, we're going to do alternating hand pendulum mills. So looks like this. Getting the Clubbell to clean position, then supersetting that with 10 pull-ups. Yeah, going to do it here. So yeah, I'm going to do 4 sets of this. This was my 3rd, and that'll be it for today's workout. This will be it for today's video. See you all tomorrow.